everyone. This is Alice Smith. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about starting the course, this week's assignments, and discuss them with you. Within each week's module, you should be able to find, as I make it up, the lecture and information about the class and some things to do it. I'm trying to get access to an ebook so I can show you on several of the things that I'm doing, where it's at in the textbook. So we're going to see how well that goes along too. All right, so let's start. This is the main homepage. And here you have all the selections. And I know most of you know this, but just for those of you that don't. When I hold office hours, you need to go right here and you can find them. Also, I'm told that up here over here may be listed where I have office hours, and you can just click on it over here and go into office hours. And I believe Tuesdays and Wednesdays, your office hours are 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Indianapolis time. So let's talk about this week's work. All right, so since it's the start of school, let's start here. And to start here, welcome, let's connect. And so here's a little bit about me. Here's a PowerPoint that goes over and discusses some things and some policies for the class. My expectations and this week's discussion to connect and get to know each other. The next one on the list is 5 things you need to know to be successful. So regarding discussions, you need to be respectful. It's really hard to tell tone in emails, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you disagree with somebody immensely, drop me a note and I'll see what I can do about it, talking to the student about your concerns. Full sentences, correct spelling, proper punctuation. Reread it, because a lot of times, I know I do this, you get in a hurry and somehow the words in your mind doesn't get down your arms and into your fingers and on the keyboard like it should. Response must be substantive, so your initial post should be 3 to 4 sentences, and then your replies should be 2 to 3. You're right, I agree is not a sufficient post. I can tell when students are really rushed for time and they're just trying to do a response. That will lose you points. Attendance, you have to post attendance every week. If you go 2 weeks without posting attendance, the computer system is likely to drop you. And then that's a real hassle to get back in. So you need to post attendance, you need to do an assignment, which would be really cool. Do a discussion, which would also be really cool. Do a response to a discussion, which goes with the second, really cool, or do a quiz. Okay? Assignments and late work. All information for assignments can be found in the Canvas. You need to go to Canvas more than you need to go to the book, because I have tweaked most of the assignments in the book if you read it just out of the textbook. So if you go by what's written in each week's modules, you'll be good to go, because if you're going to go directly by the book, I'll tell you, go see the book. If you have questions, above all, if you have questions, ask me. Help is available through online lecture. This is something new for me this quarter to do this. I'm really excited to try it, so I need your input, please. Tutorials and other aids, and all assignments must be submitted through Canvas. You cannot send them to me in an email. Contact and grading, you can contact me Monday through Saturday by email. Call or text me at 765-268-0350. I do not work Sundays. Now, if you have something major that's happened in your life, go ahead and email me. And if it's something that I think you really need feedback for me, even though it's a Sunday, I will text you back. I will email you back. But 99% of the time, you won't hear from me until Monday. My goal is to grade weekly assignments as they are submitted. Do I always meet that goal? No. Hopefully you give me E for effort. If you get worried about a grade, please be sure you email me and say, this is really nervous and you're driving me nuts. Can you please tell me how things are going in my grade? Resubmission of assignments can be after you and I have talked being either on the phone or emailing back and forth. If you make below 73% on an assignment, you can resubmit. It does not apply to discussions. And there is one assignment, I believe, in week 8, where to help you learn what you did or didn't do, I give you the answers, and so that one is not eligible for resubmission. Office hours are regular times. Talk to you about where you can go. Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 2 to 3 in the conference section. Oh, one thing else about office hours, if you have trouble with something, I'm also eligible, I'm also willing to meet with you outside those standard office hours by appointment. And I don't meet personally. We do it through the computer. This comes in one of those conferences. And I also have a program that's online. It's called Join Me. That's a real simple thing to use where I can actually show you my computer screen no matter where you're at. All you have to do is log in, give the system a number that I'll tell you, and then you can literally see my screen. And then I talk to you on the phone. All right, so now we'll go into this. Need help? This is just different ways that you can have help about accessing Canvas, using the help menu, that type of thing. The next information is course resources. Here's your software. Web apps video is right there. Office 365 instructions is right here. There's a video about how to access Office 365. If you have an Apple, you can use the web apps, even if you don't have an Apple. Some of the computers just won't let you download things. And the nice thing about this one and this one is you don't have to download anything. These are out there on the web. And so it's really cool. So you can watch this video and that explains it better. Web apps, you just go to it and click on it and it's great. Here I said Apple users, you can use web apps and they work for this class. And then the first 3 chapters of the course will kind of get you going right here. Now, load my textbook. This is new to me. So you go up here and you click this. And it's saying this because, of course, I'm not getting a textbook. So it's going, what are you doing? But that's where you go. You would do it through EdMap. If you have any questions, contact the bookstore. So that's the start here. Let's go to week 1. Here's week 1 introduction. So, watch cross-cultural communication. It's a really good video. Gives you some good information. Here's the lesson objectives. What you should expect that you will know when you get through it this week. And some things to help you is reading assignment. You need to read chapters 1 and 3 for this week. Here's the PowerPoints for those 2 chapters. Here's practice questions. Here's grammar practices. And then for your quiz, here's a quiz study guide. So the thing is as you read these chapters, what I would recommend is that you have, I didn't realize that it's the same thing. You have these questions handy. So as you come across these questions and you come across the answers here, then you can write them down. On your quiz, it's not timed. You have 2 tries at them. Once you begin, though, you have to finish. That be something in mind. And you can use your notes. Okay. So as you read here, have these questions handy so you can find out. And then if they don't, like down here, you could always do a search for these things if you miss them. And you can do a search and get information and take notes on that. You can also get information about what this is. You could probably do a Google search real quick for this one. You could probably do a Google, so several things. If you miss it in your reading, you could probably do a Google here to help you. I just thought of that. So your discussions. So the topic is being connected, and here's some advantages. What are some of the advantages here? What are the disadvantages? What are some ways to give yourself a break if you're feeling overwhelmed? And there's rubrics with all your discussions and with all your assignments. Okay, 1.2 written assignment is worth 25 points. In a Word document, complete the following activities. It says at the end of chapters 1 and 3. I'm going to tweak that wording because I don't like it. Assignment 1.3 is to analyze your writing skills. Your task is complete this form. So you would download the form, save it, and then attach it to the assignment here. That's ready to submit. Note there are questions to be answered at the end of the form. There are 2 questions at the end of the form. Don't miss them, you'll lose points. Assignment 1.15, if you want to look at it on page 36, it's about ethical dilemmas. You need to study the 7 dilemmas on page 26 and select 4 of them. Now this is where it's joint between the end of the chapter information, and I give you the page, and information here. In a memo to me, explain your answer completely to each question that's included in each dilemma. So as you read the dilemmas, there's questions asked. Completely means, subject, verb, the whole schmear. Also be sure to include your analysis response to each of the 5 questions in figure 1.14. So this is a 2-parter. You have to do the 7 dilemmas on page 26. You have to answer the 5 questions on figures 1.14 on page 29. Assignment 3.7, page 110. This assignment is about doing business. Read the history and experience of Trek Bicycle. You do not have to go hunt Trek Bicycle up on the internet. Okay, some people do. You don't have to. Trek Bicycle expanded overseas, so they're telling you they became aware of many different challenges. In a memo to me, you can use a template, but it does need to be a memo format. Discuss how the information found on pages 99 to 103, because it's talking about cultural things and what Trek Bicycle did. And one of the things is that in China, Trek Bicycle became very popular. Then it decided it wanted to go overseas. And when it went overseas, it continued its same American thinking in an Asian country. And most of the time, those two don't mix. And Trek Bicycle used a color on some of their product that the Chinese or the Asian community found offensive. So what could they do to have not made that mess up? Okay. And use complete sentences. Additionally, be sure to reference specific sections that you're discussing. And again, any questions before you hand it in, shoot me an email. 1.3 is your quiz. 2 attempts, no time limit. 20 questions, 25 points. And there's the last discussion. I warn you, my office is in my home, so sometimes things may get briefly loud. I try and stop them. Here's this discussion. It's not graded, so you don't get any points for it, but I'd like to know my students, and it helps you guys to know each other. This is a large class, so this will help everybody get to know each other. And as we begin this new quarter, I've always found that it's helpful for each of us to introduce ourselves. In this discussion, tell the class a bit about yourself. What you want to do, it's up to you. And so that we can get to know you better. You only have to do this one time. You can reply to your classmates if you want to. You don't have to, especially since it's not graded. Okay? If you have questions, make sure you ask. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.